Welcome, and thanks for joining us today. You're listening to the Women's Broadcast Television Network, and I'm your host, Shavon. WBTVN is the all-women's internet television station where content is created by women and for women. And joining us today on WBTVN's Expert Spotlight show is an amazing woman. Let me tell you just a little bit about her. Katerina Kozias. She is a fab after 40. She talks about this. She has a digital show that she calls LA 40, A Life After 40. So this number 40 just keeps, coming up. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be here.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you. And before we really get started on all this, tell me a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Absolutely. Well, and that's my pleasure. So thank you, Shay, for having me on this network. It's really a pleasure to be here. My background and the number 40 that you touched on is going to come into this story in just a moment. But originally I'm Canadian. I always had this passion to get out of Canada and to see the broader world. And so at the age of 29, I left and I moved to Europe. Now, in my 20s, I studied finance in university, and I spent 10 years in corporate finance, so I was a hardcore finance girl. But my passion had always been communications. And when I had wanted to go into broadcasting and journalism and sort of this Hollywood scene back when I was 18, 19, I got a little dissuaded, and I thought, well, should I maybe do something a little bit more conservative, or should I go and, try my luck at Hollywood? And I thought, well, I don't want to be flipping burgers, so I better stay safe. Okay. 10 years later, right, at 29, with a degree in hand, a good career behind me, I was doing financially fabulous for my age, but I just wasn't happy. I just hadn't fulfilled that passion. And I thought, I need to go and I need to find myself. I need to do something with this broadcasting dream of mine. So I moved to Europe just to get, a change, with the intention of going to London or going to Geneva. Long story short, I ended up for 5 years in Greece because my family's originally Greek. I fell in love, and so that sort of derailed this career path.
Gotcha.
10 more years went by, and suddenly I'm 39. And I've had a really fabulous life in my 30s, continued in a really successful career. I shifted out of corporate finance and into yachting. But Jesus darn it, I always wanted to be in television, be a television host, be in communications. And for a long time in my 30s, I was feeding myself this line that maybe many women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s can probably relate to this. I started feeding myself the line that it's too late now. I'm too old. I should have been Maria Menounos. I should have been Juliana Rancic. I should have. And a lot of time in my 30s went by with this sort of negative self-talk. And then one day I had an epiphany, and I projected myself to the age of 80. And I thought, okay, now I'm 80, and I'm looking back at my 39-year-old self thinking, you are young, and you're vibrant, and you're healthy, and you're beautiful, and you're financially able, and you're just, why did you never try? So although most of society was telling me that going into my 40s, I need to slow down and, time is running out and I should stop dreaming, I actually just thought, no, my God, that's the opposite. I have lived a fabulous almost 40 years, and I intend to live a really fabulous next 40 years. Yeah. And there are so many women like yourself doing so much good stuff after 40 that I just figured it's ridiculous that, society bombards us with this messaging that if you're not a millennial, if you're not 25, then you've got no value. And so I put together this blog, and I put together my radio talk show with that intention to really specifically remind women in their 40s and 50s and 60s and beyond that, life is now. It's now, and it's what we make of it. And we have so much value to contribute.
Right. And that's why I love your fab. I mean, you just love the word fabulous. I can tell.
I do.
That's your words. I mean, you just own that word. But, fabulous after 40, I mean, it's really true. And after 50 and 60 and 70, to me, whatever age you are is a number.
Right.
Because we see people that at 40 seem like they're 60 or 70, seriously.
Right.
And then we see women that are in their 70s that look like they're looking at like they're in their 40s and 50s.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it's so important to truly understand that, number one, and I think you said it, that it's never too late. It just depends on what you want to do and how you want to go about it, and really what your passion is, what you just really feel inside that you should be doing.
Well, and that's exactly right. And to your point, I mean, age is simply a value. It's a numeric value that we put to reflect the number of years we've been on the planet.
Exactly.
It's no bearing on what we can do, on our energy level, on our potential, on our achievement. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a number.
Yes.
Yeah, and I loved how you said about being here on Earth. And I think that that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
We have something in common. I was born in Canada, in Brantford, Ontario. And my mother brought me from Canada to the United States after she had separated from my father. Okay. And so, yeah, I love the U.S. It's home. Mm-hmm. I've been here since I was 7 years old. Not that I didn't go back and
family or
visit family and other people, friends and whatever that's there. But love Canada. In fact, just a couple months ago, I actually did a media tour.
Oh, fabulous.
And it was great. So
we're good people up in Canada. I've been in LA for about a year and a half, so I'm basing out of Los Angeles right now. I'm coming from 6 years in Miami, though. So I did 5 years in Greece, 6 years in Miami, and now LA. I love LA, but again, part of the messaging that I got when I got here was make sure you don't tell anyone your age, cut it by 10 years and this and that. And I just thought, why are we devaluing the life that we have led? I mean, I just find it so sad. So part of my mission really with my talk show is to remind women, but also to get some of the younger women excited about the fact that life is supposed to get better for us. And I think you're a shining example of that.
Oh, well, you're so sweet, and I appreciate those kind words. It means a lot to me. But, once again, I just think, I'm that girl that gets up every morning at 4:00 in the morning. I'm in the gym at 4:45 or sooner. And then I teach and I do all of these crazy things. And I don't think everybody should be like me. But I definitely believe in walk the walk and talk the talk. Yes. And so I don't feel like I can really ask people to do things to change their life, to help them to stay healthy, to help them. And that's the most important thing. It's just, being healthy and meeting people really where they are and helping to take them to what they want to do as far as their next level, whatever that level happens to be.
And I think that's sort of what you and I have in common is just this feeling of we can be of value and of service to other people. And when we are, we actually feel better about ourselves. And collectively, everyone does better. So it's more of a creative versus a competitive mindset.
Right. So what helped you to create your talk show, and where do you do this talk show?
Sure, absolutely. So people can tune in. I run out of, we broadcast on latalkradio.com.
LA Talk, yeah, I'm familiar with it. Mm-hmm.
Digital platform. So you can tune in on your smartphone, you can tune in via your computer. And I broadcast once a week. It's every Thursday morning at 11.
Every Thursday morning at 11.
LAtalkradio.com.
LA Talk Radio.
LA 40.
Okay.
We have a lot of broadcasting for, again, Gen Xers. So I had a show just the other day, Realities in Real Estate. Is it too late to start investing after 40? Right? Because a lot of people think if I haven't bought a home, if I'm still renting, maybe I missed that boat. So I had some really prominent realtors on board, wealth management experts, giving us some tips and the trade. A few weeks back, I had an episode that we did called "Cancer at 40, It Sucks."
Yeah,
it really does. And I've received 5 calls in the last 2 years of friends of mine, 39, 40, 49, kind of in that range. Mm-hmm. Getting cancer, and it's hard. It's not fun. And then of course we have some light fun episodes like, oh my gosh, I'm a parent now. When did this happen? And of course I'm following it up in a few weeks for those of you that aren't parents. I'm not a parent yet, with an episode called "Oh Boy, I'm Still Not a Parent." So we've got a little bit of everything for everyone.
Well, it sounds like that. It sounds like you have fun doing it, and that the audience really, can get a laugh out of it. And isn't that what life is really all about? I often say, laugh yourself healthy.
Right.
Actually did a program in Chicago that called that, and it was hilarious. But it's really true. The more that we laugh every single day, and I'm really talking about getting down to that, that belly, bending over, laughing, and it's so healthy for us, and we just kind of like forget how to do that.
I read a stat, Shay, not even a full 3 weeks ago, that said children on average laugh 150 times a day. They're just giggling and laughing all day. And they say by the time you become an adult, if you're laughing 3 times a day, you're lucky.
Exactly.
It's so sad.
Why would we want to? But I often look at it from even a different standpoint. It's not only that we give up the laughter, but the somersaults that we used to do when we were, a young kid, or playing
in the grass, right?
Kinds of games, or, that kind of thing. Who says that we can't get out and enjoy? I mean, that's really what life is all about. But I know that we tell ourselves, I like what you were talking about before, is this chatter that comes into our minds that says, oh, tell somebody that you're younger than you are because now you're in LA and you don't want to, I don't tell anybody anyway, not because there's anything to hide,
right,
because I don't, I just don't think it matters. It's just not important to me. Mm-hmm. What's important to me is, can I get up? Can I take care of myself? Can I, accomplish things that, that I want to accomplish? It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. It's just how about I feel, because I know that when I feel better and I do the things that I should do and I make better choices, then I'm setting examples for the people around me that love me and care about me, and I'm giving the right message out there. That is what I really believe in.
And that's so very true. And, that goes back to part of what I want to do with my show is, there are a lot of women out there that want to make a change. Maybe they want to write a book. Maybe they want to move to a new city. Maybe they want to leave that man, right? There's things they want to do. And as we get older, for some reason, a lot of people get stuck with this fear, right? They're scared to make a move. And I just think it comes down to really believing in yourself and having the self-confidence to know that at the end of the day, we're supposed to be flourishing. So really, if you take that step over that ledge, trust that it's for the right reason and that things will unfold the way they're supposed to.
Right. It's always good to give, good guidelines to help someone to be able to break through the barriers that hold them back. Mm-hmm. But many times they don't even identify it as fear or the things that we're talking about right now. And it's really important to kind of take a deep breath and kind of like get, just with yourself. Mm-hmm. And just kind of ask yourself certain questions. Mm-hmm. How important is this that I want to do something different? Mm-hmm. And really, what is it that's really holding you back? Because many times the things that you think are holding you back aren't really the things that are holding you back. I think it's not. I think it's fear, but I think it's fear in a different way. Right. And that different way is failure. Mm-hmm. And, we're always, but failure it's okay, you guys. I want to tell everybody that, because it propels us to know what we really need to do to be successful.
Well, and Shay, it's all perspective as well, because you can look at failure and you can say, oh, darn, I didn't succeed. Or you can look at it and say, that was a stepping stone towards where I want to get to. Yes. And I think, it was Thomas Edison, and I know a lot of people are familiar with this, but I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
He failed 10,000 times
exactly
in the attempt to create the light bulb. And when someone said to him, you keep failing, you keep failing, you keep failing, he said, no. He said, I'm simply proving another way which not to make a light bulb. So he didn't see it as failure. He saw it as, this is the process it takes.
As the next step to get you to where you want to be. And that is, I think it's all perspective and how we really evaluate it. And I think that we're so hard on ourselves, by being fearful, being afraid to fail, whatever. I don't want to fail. I can understand that. I understand people feel that way. And so do I. But the truth of the matter is I want it so badly that I'm not fearful to put my foot in that, in that step moving forward. That's going to help me to figure out, how am I going to do this?
And I think another important thing for us to remind people, Shay, of is the fact that at the end of the day, you cannot live your life based on what's happened in the past, right? A lot of us, as we get older, get more fearful because we've had a few failures. But what you have to recognize is now, and the future does not have to be dictated by what happened in the past.
No.
You really need to find a way to let past experiences stay in the past and tune into what is happening today and now in order to move forward. And really, when you think of it that way, why would anyone be held down by past?
Yeah, well, Katerina, the truth of the matter is the only thing that really does matter is right now in this moment. It's about being present with everything that you're doing and realizing that most of the things that we worry about don't even come to fruition. Thank God. I get that. But we take so much stress in on that it actually holds us back to, moving forward in the things that really, count in your life and that make a difference in your life. And so I think that those things are really important to think about. The future is mystery. We don't know what that's going to be.
So why stress over it?
Yeah, but the other thing I want to say is that many times I find myself saying, okay, here's where I'm at. I want to get someplace. I've got all of these obstacles that are in front of me. But what if I kind of take a step back and I look at the future, meaning, several years ahead? I'm not going to have the same issues that I have today, do I?
Nope.
So what is that going to look like in the future? And so I want to propel towards that. I want to see that so that I realize I'm going to get through this. It's going to be okay. But of course, like all things, God helps those that help themselves. And if we don't put the energy out there, we don't work on it every single day, we don't, give back and collaborate how we're supposed to.
I think also, Shay, especially in this digital age that we're living in, it's 2017. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has a computer. We're just bombarded with technology. We really are forgetting all of the gifts that the universe just gives to us. So one thing that I really have noticed, because I used to be a half glass empty person. I was, ladies, if you're listening and you're one of those people thinking, okay, well, I've got bills to pay and a mortgage and this and that, fair enough. But one thing that helped me shift my mindset, and it really has moved me from a negative to more of a positive side of the spectrum in life, is I just looked at, things like the sunset, okay? Every single day, we are gifted with a different sunset. This is like a painting that is being offered to us pretty much every night. When's the last time you stopped and spent 5 full minutes, at around 7 p.m. when the sun's going down, and actually just watch the colors change, So it's really bringing you back to just stillness, like you were talking about, taking it down a notch. And that really has helped me kind of put things in perspective and not stress about something that really has a likelihood of never happening anyway.
Exactly. So it's all about that landscape. It's all about the natural things about life that are right there in front of us that we need to really embrace it, right, and to enjoy it, because it's there for us to do that. And we sometimes get so bogged down in depression and, things that are not going to serve us well at all.
Right. And life has its ups and downs, but I think if you can wake up every day and really, for as hokey as it sounds, I used to laugh at this. I remember Oprah saying this 20 years ago, right? Make a gratitude list. And I used to just think like, oh, hocus pocus, hokey stuff. I literally have been doing it consciously for about a year now. Okay. I will make my tea in the morning and I will sit with my pad and I will spend 20 minutes writing out 10 things I'm grateful for. I kid you not. Ladies, if you're listening, if this works, take some time, whether it's in the morning or before you go to bed, and be conscious of the great things in your life. I promise you, it will start to shift your, your perspective and your sense of the attraction that you are emitting.
Yeah, and we need to just kind of shoot fly. I say it all the time. Just, there's always, negative thoughts, or when you talk to certain people, you know that negativity. You turn the TV on, it's all negative. And certain friends that you talk to, but you really need to, shoot fly that away and not allow it in, because it's not, once again, it's never going to serve you. It's not going to help you. You need to replace that, put a new tape in there.
Yes.
Tell yourself I can, that little engine that, climbed up the hill or whatever, the train. I can, and you will. There is just no question about that. You will, the inter part is just going to be, so inspired to make it work that it happens. We just have to believe in ourselves a little bit more. So what's on the agenda for you moving forward now?
All right. So the radio show, I'm in talks right now to syndicate it nationally, which is fantastic. So right now it's local to Los Angeles, although with digital programming, I have people tuning in from Germany, from Canada, but I am looking at possibly syndicating it. So stick with it. LA 40, everyone, on LA Talk Radio, Thursday mornings at 11. It's a fun program. It's a bunch of women in their 40s and 50s and 60s that get together and really support and motivate each other, which is fun because like I mentioned, intend to do a lot of good things. And also on my personal road to, it's been a 25-year run to really make my dream happen of becoming, a television host and doing this as a profession. I'm right on track. About a month ago, I was reporting live from the Oscars at the Elton John Oscar party. I also was in talks to do Super Bowl. I may do Super Bowl next year. So, I think my advice to everyone would be, if there really is something that, that little voice that's been talking to you, that it knows. And so don't ignore it. If like I mentioned, if there's that book you want to write and it's been sitting there in your closet half written for 7 years, I say pull it out. It's there for a reason. You're getting that receptivity for a reason. And that's part of the contribution you're supposed to make to the world. So.
Well, and the other side of that's even more important. It's not about sharing it with the world. It's about finishing it. Because when we write and when we do things, we really do it for ourselves. And if that's something that does get shared because you've, been able to, to do that, that's a great gift. And it touches many hearts. And people that do that are good at it, really find a broader audience to share what they're really feeling inside and what they've gone through. So I love that, Katarina. So anyway, where's the website?
Okay, great. So the website to tune in on my blog is fabafter40.life. So that's FAB after 40, fabafter40.life, because we are fabulous after 40.
Yes.
And of course, there are links on that website as well to the radio show. So if you don't catch it live, you can always catch the archived videos on that site. And I'm also now a contributor to the new website Thrive Global, which is headed up by Arianna Huffington. It's her new projects in selling Huffington Post. So you can catch me there as a blog contributor as well.
Very good. So I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time out to be on the show today on our Expert Spotlight show here at WBTVN.tv. And I thank the audience for joining us again. And so until the next time, everyone, stay healthy and enjoy life. Take care now.